For 90 minutes, each fan is suspended from the world and focuses towards a team that hopefully delivers their win. After 90 minutes are completed, this moment ceases to continue. This moment where faith and prayer are heavily relied on provides a sense of security and optimism. But what exactly are the driving forces that fans and viewers alike to stipulate religion into soccer? Durkheim's statement of religion is a natural expression of society's moment of reflecting on its own transcendent power, where religion reflects society and is an eminently social thing. People cultivate the connection they establish with their respective teams and experience a sense of religious affinity tied to the sport. Bowie denotes that Clifford Gertie's definition of religion views symbols and rituals that act as metaphors for social life, rather than what religions seek to explain. This method of viewing religion is applicable to how soccer withholds the ritualistic mannerisms and the innate symbolic nature behind trophies, uniform stadiums, and the soccer ball itself. Soccer has become a global sensation that transcended from the title of a sport and is deemed a civil religion. According to the author Zorda Cypra, this term demonstrates both the moral and spiritual values of a community of modern society. The purpose is to uphold the political and social culture of people within society, which also involves myths, symbols of popular devotion, and public rituals. Just like any sports affiliation, a plethora of people gather around to cheer for their home team to represent their city or nation, though people have their preferences to sports. The commonality between the differences in sports result in their agenda to obtain recognition, fame, and the entertainment aspect. Sports can provide a sense of personal security where people's enthusiasm can in turn become a part of something larger than themselves. This enthusiasm can potentially transform into an obsession, where faith and belief are eventually integrated into their ritualistic endeavors. Camaraderie and belonging aid in the process of cultivating this religious aspect towards soccer. People amass to spectate the sport to practice their faith and rituals, to which they discuss how their respective teams would deliver and answer their prayers or reward their faith. Camaraderie and the desire to bond with other individuals over the sport evolve and develop into gangs, sometimes heavily associated with soccer clubs. These clubs are notably found throughout the world, especially in Europe and Latin America, and like every club, it has a following of unruly fans capable of terrific violence that come together and form gangs. One such example is the game heavily involved with the beloved Red Star Belgrade, the most successful team in Serbia. This gang associated with the Red Stars occupy a place of honor, where they meet with club officials to streamline the organizational flowchart of their gangs. Along with occupying a place of honor within the club, they receive stipends and have access to office space in the team's headquarters in the upper middle class neighborhood of Topsider in Serbia. Through intimidation, the gangs of the Red Star have influence in large measure. Their dedication to the club occasionally includes malice towards their own club members, where they would burst into the team's training session with bats, bars, and other bludgeons and beat their own players. The hooligans involved in this incident openly admitted that they could no longer tolerate the lack of commitment on the pitch. This open act of violence towards their own club is an extremity of commitment to the sport. In a sense, it's analogous to the overzealous theist religious factions that currently exist, where their intent is to ensure that their religious beliefs are enforced within their community. In times, people within a nation request economic and social reform, where soccer has been a symbol of hope, progressiveness, spontaneity, and freedom. In October of 1994, a march of protesters walked down the streets of Buenos Aires, Argentina. This march was representation of disgust for the economic policies implemented by the Argentine government. Initially during this march, the national anthem was sung with gusto and boisterous voices. However, the demeanor of the chant transformed with copious amounts of emotion and heart that was mustered up from the protesters. The chant became in unison with the popular rock song "And Give Joy to My Heart" by Fito Paez in honor of a national hero. Diego Maradona, a legend, a myth, and a symbol for the people, and a hero for his spectacular performance in the 1986 World Cup in Mexico. Millions of Argentines revere his athletic ability as godlike, representing several societal values. He became a concept for Argentina that emphasizes the importance of progress, spontaneity, and freedom that related to childhood, an admirable trait in the Argentine society. While on the field, one fan in particular explains why he is so idolized in Argentina. Maradona represents the state of perfection and freedom when we disregard the most negative traits of an individual. Spontaneity, to be fresh and to do things adjust right away without thinking on the negative consequences are qualities that we appreciate. The status amongst his fans manifested a second alter ego, relating to myth and divinity, in crossing that threshold of human athlete to a realm of supernatural existence and ritual. His performance was remembered in a ritualized manner, or as a general expression of joy. While overcoming the use of drugs, he became a symbol of hope, confidence, and faith. Maradona himself became a cult, a following. Brazil, the soccer capital of the world and host of the current World Cup. Antecedently, Brazilians currently face their own economic instability and difficulty thriving to sustain a comfortable living situation in their own country. They sought a form of distraction from their personal issues and financial matters created by the event. This distraction provided a temporary salvation where faith and belief are heavily displaced towards the nation's team in hopes to regain wealth and economic stability. Brazilians' priorities are set towards health and education, yet allocation towards those priorities are not recognized by their own government. Their financial issues as a whole is similar to how one individual suffers from their own finances and rely on a miracle to overcome this obstacle. Some clubs are densely affiliated with theist religious factions. Take for instance the crosstown rivalry between the Celtic and Rangers Club in Glasgow, Scotland. This rivalry is a front for an unfinished fight over Protestant Reformation. This unsettled dispute between the Catholic Celtics and the Protestant Rangers has led a lifestyle that's on standstill. No matter what your sports preference is, soccer not only has a global impact, but culturally and religiously, to which its religious affiliations, ritualistic and symbolic practices continue to persist to those who admire and love the sport.